Welcome back to the Sports News Analysis YouTube channel. My name is Mike. I'm continuing my Week 2 previews and analysis, and this video is for the big one, guys. The Sunday Night Football game between the San Francisco 49ers and the Seattle Seahawks. If you follow my channel, guys, you know I think I've said it the whole offseason and in the beginning of the season here. I think these are the two best teams in football in the same division out there in the NFC West. It wasn't long ago in this NFC West, the whole division was an afterthought. And look how far it's come with what I think the two best teams in the same division. The only shame of this division rivalry is, these two teams will battle it out for the NFC West crown. And the odd man out here, the other team, who I think obviously will still make the playoffs, will go all the way down to that 5th seed. So there's certainly a lot at stake here in this game here, which will be played up in Seattle. Both teams coming off of opening week wins, certainly in different fashions. Seattle, sort of a grinded out kind of win on the road in Carolina, 12-7. And, Colin Kaepernick putting on a show against the Packers, beating the Packers at home, throwing for over 400 yards in that 49ers win. And, first with the 49ers, obviously you have to like what you saw from Kaepernick last week. He became much less of a running quarterback and more of a throwing quarterback, at least last week. It doesn't mean he still can't tuck and run when he needs to, but you saw him develop some nice rapport with Anquan Bolden, as well as an improved rapport with Vernon Davis, which he didn't have at times last year. And it seems like that relationship's beginning to gel a little bit. I was surprised, though, last week that Gore didn't run for more yards against that Packers defense. He only ran for under 50 yards. I think it was like 44 yards he ran for last week against the Packers. In order to win this game, I don't think they can put Kaepernick in a situation where he has to throw for over 400 yards. I mean, last year was last year, but Kaepernick really struggled up there in Seattle with all that noise. But remember, that's when Seattle was playing absolutely great. I throw away all the previous games, previous records when these two teams play. But I think what will help Kaepernick immensely is if that running game can get established, because I think it's asking a lot for Kaepernick to go in there against that secondary and that defense and pass for over 400 yards, and that being how they have to win. Because, the 49ers defense, on the other hand, I was a little surprised at how well the Packers were able to move the ball on them. Rodgers threw for over 330 yards and 3 touchdowns. They were, again, stout against the run. We'll see how they measure up against, Marshawn Lynch and the Seahawks run offense, who, had an off game last week. Their home opener. We'll see how they respond this week. You would think you're going to get a steady effort out of both these defenses, both the Seahawks and the 49ers. But again, I saw little vulnerabilities in that 49ers secondary. They went through some turnover there. But, is Russell Wilson and these weapons he has on offense, is he the guy who's going to exploit that? We'll see. And, you look at the Seahawks, their defense was as advertised last week. I mean, they let up 7 points on the road in Carolina. Not that Carolina's a great team, but their offense much as was, or at least something was expected of that offense coming into the year. And besides for an early touchdown, you saw the Seahawks be advantageous, forcing turnovers, and really get back to that Seahawks defense that we saw last year. And where I like the Seahawks defense this week in particular is I like their matchup against the receivers of the 49ers. I don't look for Bolden to have the 10-plus catches and 200 yards. I think that's a lot to expect from a secondary that features guys like Sherman at corner and Chancellor and Thomas at the safety position. I just think there's a little too much to expect. I think that we'll see how Seattle defends Vernon Davis. Vernon Davis didn't kill them last year. I think that's going to be really the stopping of Vernon Davis and the stopping of Frank Gore, because I think they'll take care of Bolden, and I think that's going to be the difference in the game here, is how good do they stop the run, and, of course, the dangerous tight end, Vernon Davis. And on offense, look, Seattle, I think you saw them last week play against a defense that I think was a little bit better than people think. I think that Carolina defense, as I said in my Carolina preview for this week, is a lot better than we think, particularly with the rush defense. I look for Marshawn Lynch to have a better game. I look for Russell Wilson to have a little bit of a better game. And look, in this kind of game, guys, overall, I really give a lot of credence to the home team. I mean, you saw last year, these two teams split, each win one at home. I think that's going to be the way, I think that's going to be the way that it goes this year in both these games. Barring any injuries down the line. I'll do that preview the next time these two teams play. But for this game, these teams are relatively healthy. They're going to have almost their full complement of players besides the usual dings. So I like the Seattle Seahawks -3 at home to beat the 49ers. That doesn't take anything away from the 49ers. Would I be sitting here surprised in January if the 49ers have home field and have won the NFC West? Absolutely not. Would I be surprised if the Seahawks won the NFC West and have home field? Absolutely not. Again, best two teams in football. I just give the home team a little bit of an advantage. Seahawks -3 over the 49ers. Let me know what you guys think. Hit me up in the YouTube comments. Hit me up on Twitter at SNewsAnalysis. And guys, be sure to subscribe to my channel. I upload. You guys see how many videos I upload. All right. Preview every game every week. Thanks a lot. Have a great night.